These people go missing, just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas, so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried the other day, and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer is round trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz too. All you need is your got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th. Drawer taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. President Trump is demanding the Senate skip its August break until it passes a strict proof of citizenship voting bill. Here's the AP's Sagar Magani.
They shouldn't leave town. I'm not going to stop them from doing it, but they should get the SAVE Act done.
It's the latest part of the president's months-long pressure campaign to pass the bill before the November midterms. He's recently been targeting the Senate's top Republican.
I have a good relationship with John Thune. He's just got to get his job done.
Thune's problem? The GOP doesn't have the votes to pass the bill or scrap the filibuster, another presidential demand. The Senate is set to begin its recess a week from Friday, a pivotal stretch for midterm campaigning as the GOP tries to hold a slim majority. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to allow for now an executive order targeting mail-in voting. President Trump is in a key battleground state, Michigan.
The auto industry is back and America is back and it's pulling Detroit and Michigan along with it. Our country is so successful, it's pulling it along.
The president claims his tariffs have helped General Motors. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes says a 15-year-old is in custody in connection with the shooting deaths of 3 people at a food festival in the city.
There is a second shooter. We're trying to identify who that person is. Our officers need your help. If someone saw something or perhaps we need to identify that person.
Seattle police are not ruling out whether the second suspect was among those killed. Investigators say a man shot and killed his wife and their 6 children, then himself, before they were all found in their burning home in Michigan last week. A tornado swept through Wisconsin, damaging homes, downing trees, and knocking out power to thousands. The National Weather Service confirms a tornado in Winnebago County. This is AP News. Police in Virginia near Washington, D.C. have arrested Elijah Bieniemy,
the son of NFL Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, in the alleged shooting of his own mother. Deputies responding in Ashburn late Sunday found 57-year-old Mia Bieniemy alive but with multiple gunshot wounds. She's hospitalized in stable condition.
Our hearts go out to Eric Bieniemy and his family.
Kansas City coach Andy Reid spoke with reporters.
And she's a saint. You know, we all know that, the people that know her. One of God's good blessings right there now. Really special person. So, but things happen, things happen and you got to work through it.
Elijah faces charges including malicious wounding and use of a firearm in a felony. I'm Jennifer King.
Florida authorities have arrested a Secret Service agent and 2 other men on felony charges, saying they committed brutal beatings as part of a fraternity hazing ritual. Marquez Christopher Pinder is an agent in the Miami field office. He's now on administrative leave. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl, on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Burger King, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, and Print Masters.
Just remember when you come to the show, it goes on. Alright, the show goes on. From night till the morning, we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come to the show, it goes on. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave.
And welcome. Radio, yes, this your boy Pearly in the house. Filling in for Naughty today. He's not that feeling too well, so call me at the last minute and tell me warm up. I'm coming out the bullpen. So here I am, everybody. How you doing out there? I hope everybody is good. Well, I hope you're all right considering how, yesterday, no electricity. No, let me put it this way. No current, light out, it hot, it miserable. I know what kind of day you had yesterday, but I hope you're having a better day today. It is still hot. Please, as I always say, hydrate. Make sure you drink some water, Gatorade or something. Keep yourself hydrated. You don't want anything going on. Because you see what's going on at the hospital. Let's find out how you can become a talking head, because that's very important today.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
And all you got to do is call me at 323-6232, 325-4316, or 325-4259. Or you can call me toll free at 242-300-5720. And of course, if you just want to text me, it's sponsored by BTC, 422-4796. That's 422-4796. It is so good here to be with you. Boy, it is good to be here with you. Let's see what's going on with the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
In the Guardian, they will never be forgotten. Diamond Stubbs laid to rest in Cat Island. The teens died in a tragic car crash. A&E floods following thunderstorms. Another round of grueling BPL outages. In the business section, Fusion, Superplex, X debunks Applebee's closure rumors. Bridgewater Restaurant is still operating and is business as usual. While Fusion summer revenue are presently below expectations, we are encouraged by progress being made. I saw that yesterday. That was kind of okay. BTCU President Rideshare Service should use regulated public service drivers. And Rodland Real Estate spins off proprietary AI platform. And Cygnus launches invoice financing platform backed by up to 10 million IDB investment facility. There you have it in the headlines. It is good to be here. I've got a special guest with me today. But just before we do that, I got to read something for you here. Guardian Radio and the Guardian Media Group want to send you away for the summer with the Great Summer Escape Giveaway. You could win a trip for two, including hotel, car, luggage, and $1,000 cash. All you need is your passport. Just get a Nassau Guardian newspaper, fill out the entry, drop it off at the entry box here in the Nassau Guardian at Oaksfield, and tune into Guardian Radio and follow the Nassau Guardian on all social media platforms for your chance to win. The Guardian Media Group drawing is the last day, the deadline is August 12th. We are drawing it on the 14th of August. So stay tuned, get your Guardian, make sure you enter that and catch that little trip to foreign. So everybody, how you doing again? Happy to be here. I have some special guests with me today. And we can get into it today. I can use our C. Allen's, we can do something risque today. My special guest is the opposition's leader in the Senate, the Honorable Senator the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson. Welcome to Talking Heads. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, and it is a delight to be here. And as always, whenever I have an opportunity to come or to speak by way of media, I thank media in the Bahamas for its objectivity, despite the challenges that it has faced recently by an attempt to disembowel the media. but objective, impartial, honest, and fearless contributions by way of the media serve to preserve and protect the fundamental dignity of everybody in the country, especially those who we say, or we may say, is the least among us, who may not have that power to go up against the Goliath. And so you give their concerns life, true life. And so it's a delight to be here this afternoon with you.
Good to have you here. We are the fourth estate, so it's good to have you here. And we try here at Guardian Radio to be balanced and fair at all times. And I know you expect Healing really called me at the last minute and tell me warm up. I got to come out the bullpen for him today. So I'm here trying to fill in. So bear with me a little bit.
Not a problem.
So how you been?
I've been very well, but with your leave, I would just like to say, I sent, after you communicated the concerns about Naughty.
Okay.
I said a little prayer for him.
Appreciate
and
that.
I wish Naughty speedy recovery and God's grace and blessings upon him and Naughty and his family.
I'm sure he's listening, and I'm sure he really appreciates that. Yeah. So let's get into it, man. You know we got to get into the elephant in the room first before we get into it. All right. So, 2 months ago, you dealt a devastating blow at the polls.
Yes.
And subsequently, you guys are regrouping, and you're now senator. So tell me, I know I ain't ask you how you feel because I know you felt pretty bad about losing. But what are your plans going forward now, particularly as the leader of the opposition in Senate business? And will you seriously consider going back in the Armored Corps?
Let me say this. We have a rich tradition of peaceful transfer of governance.
Yes.
And that is something to be hailed and to be celebrated in the Bahamas. There are so many places in the world where we know today there's a serious upheaval, but we can have that constitutional process and then live among each other. Now, actions, it would be remiss of me if I don't speak to the recommendations given by the CARICOM Observer Group.
Okay.
In terms of how we process the elections, in terms of campaign finance reform, and the need for an independent body to supervise and bring credibility to the process. And they were very concerned to the point where they said, if you don't make those changes, it makes no sense for them to come back. But they did commend us. And I would like to take persons back to 1967.
Mm-hmm.
It was then at that time when the I think it was the Parliamentary Commission or the name escapes me at this point, but I'll get the name back again. From the House of Assembly, brought back a report that almost sent this country into a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from then that Sir Lyndon Dawes traveled to express their concerns about the dismay in which we find ourselves by the way how we conduct elections.
Yes.
So while I celebrate the peaceful transfer, I must also observe what are the difficulties, right, for an election. So I'm grateful that we went in, we come out. I must make mention of the advance poll.
Mm-hmm.
I said that then and I say it now, that I don't place what occurred at the feet of incompetence or ignorance.
Okay.
We're in charge of the Parliamentary Registration Department, that there had to be some deliberation or something deliberate about that.
Okay.
Never seen it before in all my life.
What we saw was some interest, to say the least, interesting thing.
It was catastrophic when you come to think about how the serious experience that we were going through.
Yeah.
So coming out of that, wasn't successful, but I'm a part of an organization that is inextricably linked to governance. You can't have policy. You can't have good legislation. You cannot have good governance unless raw power is checked. And how do we accomplish that? Through the guidance of God. It's through, in a Westminster-style government, it's through an opposition that realizes that it has to be vigorous.
Yes.
It has to be energetic. It has to, using everything that it legitimately have, must fight for the right of this country. So it is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year, identifying all those things that raw power, I would call, would to cover.
Keep the government's feet to the fire.
Keep the government's feet to the fire. And so things like, for instance, I saw that the hospital was flooded the other day. The
Yeah,
hospital
I
is
saw
act-
some videos
is-
yesterday.
It's actually on a hill.
Uh-huh.
We've just come through a process where they've promised us if they could take gold out of Heaven Street, they would have given you that. But today, they're building a new hospital, and what they've done to us, and I haven't heard anybody really spoken to it, is that they've sailed us in the middle of the greatest geopolitical war since the Cuban crisis, because you have the Americans on one side saying, hey, you are in my backyard, not just in my backyard, you're in my front room.
Yes.
And you're allowing another superpower to come and do certain things in the country right in my backyard.
Yeah, I think I read something with Ambassador Walker at warned the government in reference to that.
Of course. And so we're building a multi-million-dollar hospital in circumstances where we can't pay the pharmacists, where we can't pay the doctors, where the nurses are leaving, where Johnson, who goes to do the kidney dialysis, they have problems in the dialysis department, where the place is rodent infected, where you don't have proper a restaurant. One of the things when you have health challenges, one of the major things that they give you, other than medicine, is your nutrition.
Yes.
So these are the things that are lacking at that place. And so we have to be fearless.
No pun intended when you say brave.
Oh,
I'm being facetious. Go ahead.
I know. People think every song is about them.
I
don't
got you.
consider that.
Understood.
So we have to be fearless, we have to be honest, and we have to fight. And so ours is an honorable position in which we find ourselves. And there are thousands of Bahamians, and I'll tell you because we're going to address something, drug dealing in the Bahamas today.
Okay.
There are thousands of Bahamians when it comes to the teachers and the way that they're treating the teachers union. Like I said, 3-4 months ago, they were in all of the teachers' yards promising them everything. Healthcare, the lack of consistent electricity. And you can't imagine what it's like on the Family Islands when in Eleuthera every night the electricity goes off.
Every night. Yeah.
And you bathe out of a bucket because
Yeah.
you can't get water.
Yep.
And so it is for us to identify these things, but more than just identify these things, say what we say the solution is, but to confront these people. And one of the major things I think we miss is the level of ostracization, victimization, and total brutalization that's occurring against Bahamians. And I would like to identify a young lady from Bimini.
Okay.
That young lady who was dismissed. That was totally unnecessary. If you meet a young person, and she was congratulated, and I know that they're listening, she was congratulated for the way she performed her duty. It was some time after the I'm advised that the Prime Minister and the delegation came through that they dismissed that lady, who I understand as a child.
Yeah.
But I'm to say to her that you must stand strong. I've spoken to her.
Okay.
She's, you come through with a delegation. The entire when I was in government, I understood that the entire delegation don't march through, take their bags and do as they like. You have a protocol, and if she follows the protocol, you should protect her.
Yeah.
But in these circumstances, there's very little protection. So what are the Bahamian people expecting from us? They're expecting that when they can't go out to say something, when they can't go out to demonstrate, that there is a Majesty's loyal opposition that's fearless and it would touch these things and say things that would protect them.
Yes, and that's the basic role of His Majesty's loyal opposition.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I know, and I won't actually details and I'll wait for the results to come up. But I know the Free National Movement is doing an assessment of the election as to why and getting ready to have a conclave to discuss why. So once that is done, I would hope we can get a full report so the country could understand what has to happen after you guys discuss everything and come to some conclusions.
And I agree. There are certain things about, as I said, the opposition is inextricably linked to governance.
Yes.
Is a constitutional construct. And so there are certain things that we will keep private, but we have an obligation. We have a duty to every member of the public to be open, honest, and fair. And so we've just, and the Westminster model type style government that we have require us, when we have this type of experience, that we would do a self-introspection, that we would look at what has happened, what we got right, what we did not get right, and we have to fix it, whether it be through leadership or how we interact with persons to restore the confidence is needed to gain governance. But we must remember that we don't have the luxury of a recess.
No.
we don't have the luxury of a break.
Gotcha.
And so one of the major things that can happen to any vessel is that you don't have a rudder or the engine stop running. So the leader has to continue to perform in a bombastic way, and every member of the opposition must know that they are a part of the policy-making team called Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition.
Yes.
And from Inagua to the south to Freeport in the north, but it goes further than that. There are Bahamians that are all around the world that we must represent their interests, that loves this country. And if we do our job right, then persons from all around the world will feel free to come for tourism and visit with us. Yes.
I got you. All right, so let me swell my head a little bit if we get into what you're talking about. Bless up, Grand Uncle. You're hosting an extra happy when you fill in for Uncle Naughty on Talking Heads or on Z Live for the Minister, the Honorable Shivago Sean Lang. I just love your unique, calm, cool, smooth style of hosting. And that's how to swell my head a little bit and read that. Thank you so much, Dex. I appreciate that. It always makes me feel good when people encourage me, because I've been doing this a couple of years. I'm still a rookie at this, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm getting into it. Mr. Medusa, let's take our quick break. When we take a break, we can come back and we get right into what you want to talk about. I know we got we're showing some trends happening in our country, so we'll talk about it a little bit. This is Pearly filling in for Naughty on Talking Heads, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM with my special Ronald Ellsworth Johnson. We'll be right back.
Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Alright, the show goes on. Night till the morning, we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had?
Some medical facilities pride themselves on offering multiple services. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, imaging is what we do. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. Whether you need an X-ray, mammogram, CAT scan, or ultrasound, we have a team of board-certified radiologists on staff, on site, each with their own area of expertise. Results are submitted to your doctor within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Hey kids, are you ready? It's back! The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp. July 27th to 31st at the Kendall Isaacs Gym, 2 to 5 p.m. daily, and August 3rd to 8th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for boys and girls from 5 to 18. Come enjoy the thrills of the big game alongside NBA legends and current superstars Michael Sweetbells Thompson, Michael Jr., Klay Thompson, Buddy Hield, Muggsy Bogues, and many others. Registration forms available now at the Seventh-day Adventist offices on Tony Williams Darling Highway. The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp.
Dunk Buffalo Ranch! Dunk Buffalo Ranch!
Ivan Hart with the new KFC Dunk Buffalo Ranch.
Hey, Dunk Buffalo Ranch!
A crispy ranch chicken sandwich with buffalo sauce on the side.
Buffalo on the side. Buffalo on the side.
For just $8.95, get messy with it and dunk it how you want it. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Everybody dunk! Everybody ranch!
New school year, new gear. From uniforms to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back to school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place, is your place, is your place.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building. Yeah! Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun?
And welcome back to our talk. You should see me sitting here running my mouth. My humblest apologies, please, sir. You're so welcome. So glad to have you back here on Talking Heads at Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I'm here with my special guest, Senator the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson. We're talking off mic that you know in the 80s, we went through a tremendous drug era. It was to the point that it ended up us having a commission of inquiry. That's how bad it was in this country.
Indeed.
And I grew up in Chippenham, and they used to start calling Chippenham Rock City. And we had so many personal friends who I grew up with, who were a little older than me, that got into it. And I always tell people, I think it's two reasons why I never got into it. I was scared of Daddy. And your father and my father were very dear friends, so you know the type men they were.
Yes.
And then the fact that I happened to go off to college the same time, so I was not in Nassau. And then we seen some stuff happening in the early 2000s, and now we're seeing some stuff happening now.
Yes.
What's going on?
Listen, I had the experience of being a boy on Cat Island, and I'm saying to whoever would listen, I'm trumpeting this message. And so I do recall as a boy, my grandmother would always say, hey, we don't have to worry because we're not participating. We didn't understand what she was saying, but we didn't have electricity. But in the night, and those were planes that were flying in and flying out. And I did not know where Colombia was, but I knew of the Colombians. And I know that when the Colombians came, it meant something for us. And I could never forget this gentleman. I would not call his name and it's a true story, when they came and they terrorized the whole island, chased him, mutilated his body. A lady was in the house. She had to jump through the window, and they set the place on fire.
Wow.
And they killed him. And so up and down the Bahamas, we didn't just hear about it. We saw it. We saw it from the persons who were addicted to crack cocaine. We saw it from the international reports that were being given to us about what was happening in the Bahamas. And then in 1983-84, we knew that the father of our nation had to respond to what was then a serious concern by our neighbors to the north. And that resulted in a royal commission of inquiry. But there were two commissions that dealt with it, but there was a social report that was done based on what was happening there. And that was social, and I've read through the Commission of Inquiry report dated December 84. And let's maybe read a piece. It's based on the evidence of many witnesses. It is clear witnesses were well aware of the fact that drugs were being smuggled through the Bahamas to the United States of America in very significant amounts, and that some percentage of the drugs was remaining in the Bahamas. What they were saying, the excuse that was being given was that it was just going through. And in 2004, when there was the second commission of inquiry into the Lorca, the same thing was said. But in 84, what was recognized that it was that no social organization or no structure was spared the wrath of the illicit drug trade. And when you think about drug trade, it is organized crime. There's an aspect of trafficking involved. Not just an aspect of trafficking. There is murder. There is terrorism. All of that, money laundering. Whenever you think about drugs, so it's one of the most serious organized crimes entity that spans around the world, a multi-billion and almost $1 trillion entity. And what we saw, whether you say right or wrong, we saw what happened in Venezuela recently. And what the U.S. decided to do, whether right or wrong, I don't support the dropping of missiles on boats where you are not certain that something is happening. There should be a right to trial, but we see what is happening. But in the 84, it really turned this country upside down. And I take this opportunity to commend and thank Dr. David Allen. He really captured it. And then ZNS did something with Obie Wilchcombe
and Debbie Bartlett,
where they went into the community, into the crack houses.
Some of that was right in the area where I grew up in Chippenham.
And what we saw there in Chippenham was what was actually happening all through the country. And I would like to also commend His Grace, Mr. Drexel Gomez, the late Mr. Drexel
Bishop
Gomez,
Joe, yeah.
because he was selected to be one of the commissioners on that commission of inquiry.
He was Bishop of Barbados at
That's
the time,
right.
right?
And he was elected because of his level of impartiality, objectivity, and fearlessness.
Yes.
And he brought credibility, because that's what we were looking for at that time.
Yes.
To something that was really destroying the moral fabric of this country. And many Bahamians died.
Yes.
And the country suffered a vicious damage. And then when I looked at it, at the three eras, 20 years later, there was another commission of inquiry, the commission of inquiry report, and I have the commission of inquiry report of the HMBS Inagua incident, where a controlled transshipment through the Bahamas. And it's not alleged, it actually happened. The boat was taken by some of our Defense Force officers, and it's alleged that they knew what was the amount of drugs on the boat.
Yeah.
It was taken from the area of Port-of-Ski dock. They were trying to communicate with the vessel, couldn't communicate with the Defense Force vessel. It got in there at night. And they took a count while at the Defense Force base. Got a count. They realized that the count was off because that was not what left Colombia.
Yeah.
But this is what happened. Miraculously, the count that they arrived at the base was not the count that the second count
Yeah.
that they took when they got to the drug house at the ISD.
Yeah.
In just off Thompson Boulevard.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there was a scathing representation at that time. And what was so concerning to me that we did absolutely nothing. We were prepared to say it was just going through. And we were prepared to say that we did not have an issue. But Mr. Blankenship, who was then the
U.S. ambassador,
U.S. ambassador, he was giving a presentation. And he outlined the difficulties as he saw it then. And in his presentation, he spoke to the need for urgent reform. He identified that our law enforcement officials were involved in this, and that there tons of drugs was running through the Bahamas. But at every juncture, as they would have in other countries, they call them dons.
Yeah.
Or we sometimes call, and I don't say that because I know some people call Mr. Davis a daddy. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
But they call them daddy. And they had these persons in our community who struck fear in the hearts of Bahamians. I wouldn't call their names, but we know that they existed.
Yeah.
And and so in 90s, 2000, we would hear of killings, people getting shot with high-powered rifles. And again, as in the similarity between 84, the 1984 94 Commission of Inquiry and the findings was similar to that of 2004.
20 years later.
20 years later, where you had the acceptance there were tons of drugs moving through the country, and that it had affected almost every social fabric of our country. Now, the proliferation, as we saw in the 80s with crack cocaine, because as the report said in 84, we didn't see that in 2004, but we saw the fear, we saw the intimidation, we saw where people knew that it was happening, but as like with Stockholm Syndrome, they prefer to hide that very fact from their own selves, and they did not want to have that discussion. So we come to 2024, 2026, where in an article with an interview with as he then was, the Minister of National Security.
Okay.
And Mr. Wayne Munro is now the Honorable Attorney General.
Yes.
It was in an interview, prior to that interview, the senior police officers were being taken into custody.
Yes.
There was more than just the allegation, I think is now accepted, that our resources in terms of the Sir Lynden Pillen International Airport, and that the planes utilized by some of our law enforcement agencies were being utilized to smuggle tons of drugs through the country. Not only that, you had one of our most senior officers being taken into custody. And you see a serious similarity between 94, 93, 2004, and 2024-26. But what is alarming to me is that even though something as catastrophic as this is happening in our country, people are afraid to discuss it. And when you ask,
we don't want to talk about
no, because on all occasions there were people who were associated with it. Would be discussed what is associated with drug dealing, organized crime, killings, intimidation, and so again on the third occasion you have loud silence. But I want to commend Sir Lyndon because in the highlight or the heyday of his career, and we understood the man, the persona of the man, how he filled the room. He authorized a National Commission of Inquiry.
Yes, he did.
And nobody less than himself went to give evidence before the Commission of Inquiry. And what was discussed and exposed, it was affirmed that what Mr. Norman Solomon saw at Norman's Key with the high-powered rifles, the dogs, senior police officers came to give evidence. They gave evidence of when they went to do raids, who undermined the raids, what they found, and when they go back to Nassau, what was not turned over. So all these things were happening. I recall as a boy on Cat Island, there were people who went missing. There are a lot of people who went missing. Yeah. But you never discussed the reasoning for them going missing. You would say they're in Cuba in jail.
Yeah.
But they never turned up.
Yeah.
And so...
And I remember the times as a 20-something-year-old, and particularly I was in college at the time, so when David Ross, the story came out from NBC News, and the Prime Minister went up to NBC, I caught flack from students in Minnesota and got in arguments with some of them and told them, and defended my country and defended my Prime Minister. I said, that ain't your job to fuss him, it's my job to fuss him.
That's right.
And at the same time, one of my best friends got hooked up. He committed suicide because he couldn't deal with it. So it struck me at a spot in my heart and soul to lose a very dear friend because I didn't even know this brother was on anything.
No.
I didn't know at all he was on anything. And he kept it quiet until my sisters called and told me, hey, he doing this. And when I came home, I caught him doing it one time and he just dismissed me and it hurt my heart. So I know that I have a taste of the struggles that Bahamians went through in the 80s. And particularly, everybody knew who the drug dealers were. Everybody knew who the big boys were.
Absolutely.
Because you go into trade winds, partying, they in there throwing money around like crazy. Everywhere you go, they partying and stuff like that. And so everybody knew that. So if anybody's to say they didn't know what was going on in the 80s, not being truthful.
No, not being truthful.
And then with the Laura Quinn in the Commission Inquiry in 2004, the HMBS Inagua, that was scary to hear that our defense force, some, because I know we have some really good defense force officers,
right.
really good ones, and I have some dear friends who are defense force officers. But to see that some of them were getting into something like that was hard, it was deep, it was disheartening. It was hurtful to know that these are the people we got to trust to protect our borders. And if they're doing that, who's going to protect us?
Yes. And
then to see what happened recently with the senior police officer being taken to New York City,
yes,
to New York. I mean, these things puts a dent in the trust that we have for our leaders. When I say leaders, I'm not meaning any particular person, but people who hold positions of responsibility. It puts a distrust in going on. And in 84, 04, 20, and then 20 years later, the same thing coming again. What are we doing to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore?
But see, we have to have the courage. One of the things, just let me say this, we would identify who are the persons who, in terms of, we must admit, whether we like it or not, because of our geographical positioning, we are seen as a drug transshipment.
We're in a good spot, but a bad spot.
But a bad spot.
Yeah.
We're not the market. It's trying to get the U.S., UK, Canada. But we have an obligation. And what the Commission said in 2004, was that we just can't rest on our laurels and say it's passing through. Because once it passes through, there's some elements that come through with it.
Yeah.
You know, I participated in the Laura Quinn case, and it's interesting to hear they brought an agent. They brought him in. You couldn't see who it was. They disguised his voice. And he described the activity in the place of origin, the level of violence and what occurred there. And then he described the transshipment through the Bahamas and the persons who are associated with this traffic. And if it goes wrong, what can happen? But the thing for us is, what did our authorities know in those 3 areas? Who knew on their laurels and did not perform their duties to the Bahamas?
Amen. Yeah. Let's take a quick break. This is Pearlie with my special guest, Senator the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson, here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Monday. We'll be right back.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad?
No budget for vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's located on Rose West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, go play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 accounts and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Summer's here, and KFC's got summer buckets just for you. Every bucket starts with 8 legs and thigh pieces of your favorite chicken, plus 4 golden biscuits. Grab the value bucket for just $20 or go big with our mega bucket, packed with everything you need for summer fun on the beach, boat, or on the road. Need more? Add 4 Pepsis, Fountain Fries, or the new mango dessert biscuit for only $5. KFC's summer buckets have big flavor, big value, and finger-licking good chicken only at KFC Nassau.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah! Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody
And welcome back to Talking Heads Monday. I know it's a little strange to hear Pearlie voice today. Yeah, but Naughty heard you well, okay? Everybody's praying for you, hoping you feel well pretty soon. Let me read a couple of texts before we get back into this conversation. Good afternoon, Pearlie and Senator Johnson. Please send out a message to Minister Clay Sweeten to please bring some relief to the people of Eleuthera. The power was off from this all over. It just came back on, but not sure for how long. SMDT. You know what that means, sir? Next text. Here we go. Also, I love how you are on with Brother Ellsworth Johnson, a former minister or Minister of State for Legal Affairs under the former Dr. Hubert Minnis, led FNM administration, and before that, a former president of the Bahamas Bar Association, and you all correct me if I'm wrong. Brother Ellsworth, Mr. Johnson, is right now still the current president, deputy chairman for the... No, he's not chairman of the Free National Movement. He's senator. And the Laura Quinn Galleon Key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it.
Okay. Let's take this call. I'll call you on the air. How you doing?
A pleasant good afternoon, Pearlie. How you doing today?
Hey, Sparky, what you saying today?
And Mr. Johnson, how you doing today,
Well, sir, how are you?
You know, it's nice to hear you all talk about the events that happened from Mr. Penland time and what we went through in our country to now, and how are we going to try to make an attempt to stop it.
Yes.
The way the world is going, it seems to me to be impossible to stop, because this is happening around the world, from China, Russia, straight to America, and down south and up north. It's just the new world we live in. It seems like this word we call corruption is all over the world. This ego for money and power is all over the world. You got a man saying he's the first human being to become a trillionaire.
Yeah.
While people in the world starve and can't find water and rice, but he could brag with being a trillionaire. To me, that sounds so unfounded to me. And then, hello?
I'm listening. Go ahead, Sparky. I'm listening
And then
to you.
in our little country, when we talk about the senator just mentioned about the people that we elect to protect us, our police force, defense force, when we hear they are being charged with the transshipment of drugs through the Caribbean, through the airports, through the harbors into America, it seems like these drugs keep coming from down south and go into the big America, where the Americans wanted to come there. And then they find out who are the people that are becoming millionaires and billionaires from the drugs. They want to blame the little fella on the street for taking the drugs, but they made sure come to America because they made the big money, Mr. Johnson. How you all expect us to stop it from coming to the Bahamas, where we got one or two little boats, and you all got all these aircraft carriers and bombs and planes? Y'all can't stop it, but y'all expect the Bahamians to stop it?
But you know, while you can't expect the Bahamians to stop it all, there is a role that we have to play, and there's a role, the things that we have to do to help along. I mean, of course, we need the help of the Americans, the British, and the Canadians, of course, and we need the help of these other countries because of the size of our country. And yes, we're 700 islands spread across all these over 1,000 miles. It is difficult for us to police us to protect our borders alone. But there's still a role that we as Bahamians they have to play. What say you, Senator?
I agree. Thank you very much for calling. Excellent question, sir. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we have a responsibility for ourselves. I would be the first to admit that America really has very little moral authority on anything. They represent, and I say this respectfully, one of the greatest occupations and genocides that ever known to man, right? But at the same time, we live here. This is our country. And what we've experienced over the years, we don't want intimidation. We don't want killings. We don't want drug addiction. We don't want all that goes along with drugs to be a part of us and for our children to see that.
Because we want to raise our children peacefully.
So we have an obligation for ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And the elder statesman, I call him elder statesman. He's a senior man.
Yeah.
Is expressing
75.
But
He tells
even
me that
though-
100 times.
But think about this. Even though Sir Lyndon had one of the most riveting interviews, right, on NBC. It was NBC.
NBC, yes.
Yes. And he explained our deficiencies in terms of our resources. He did something that was catastrophic at that time. He called for a commission of inquiry, and he called for everybody to account. Nobody did that in the 80s, you know.
Yeah.
And he went there.
Yes.
Think about it. The prime minister, as he then was, explained how he got his income, who he got funding from.
Yes.
Mr. Christie then explained after he had died the difficulties that he had financially and what he had done to help him.
Yeah.
But what we did even in those difficult times and faced with that Goliath, we had the nerve to do something about it, to stand up against it. We had the nerve to do something in 2004, and I'm suggesting at this time, where it's here again, we lost, around the whole furor of the senior officer being taken into custody. For whatever reason, we lost the commissioner of police. He resigned.
Yeah.
Yes? With the admission that things were happening at the airport. The question is who knew what and who knows what now.
And these questions that has to be answered.
But it is something that we are one of the best in financial services because of our geographical placing that we one of the leaders in tourism, but it says something for us as a people.
It does.
We have some of the best athletes around the world, and I think we have the strength to mark the man of our bearing when we look at what happened in 84, what happened in 80. What threatening things for me is the level of fear. And there were some men in our community, I don't want to call their names, who people were actually afraid of. And I saw something on National Geographic with great white sharks around South Africa. And when the orcas come, they disappear.
Yeah.
And when Southern people turn up in the community, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And so I hear, I don't want to call him by his nickname. I call him the senior man. I hear the senior man and what he says respectfully.
No.
And I hear in his voice a level of frustration.
Yes.
And there's nobody in the Bahamas when he gets really upset. He used some flurry language, and I think it's important to use them at sometimes to tell us that we have to catch ourselves. And I agree with what he says. There are some persons who should protect us.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we have an obligation to encourage them to do better. Now, we have to better vet the people that we get. We have to pay them better. But we can do better as a country. But what I'm saying now is what I'm seeing from those three eras, there are too many similarities. And we have to catch ourselves. But I don't want it to happen in the... I had friends who their planes blow up in the sky. Planes crash and people are burning with a lot of money. These things actually happen. When you go around the Biminis, every dark spot in the water is not a reef. It's a down plane.
Okay.
And so what is happening? And to just think of the possibility, and I'm not casting the aspersion from either side, that someone who would have been, you've reposed so much confidence in, to make them a senior servant by way of a politician in this country, that there's the allegation that something happened in our House of Assembly. I'll tell you, if there was the allegation that a young man from Baintown had sold a half bag in the House of Assembly, they would have dig up over the hill for him.
Yeah.
And they would have found him, even if they find the wrong one.
Yeah, that's true. The text says Justice Stanley Mao resided on this case, God rest his soul, and it was Brian Ross who interviewed Mr. Finley. Like I said, David, it was Brian Ross. And I distinctly remember that interview. Watched it, and I think I looked at it maybe about a year ago again. And being in college and having to answer questions to many of my friends. What do you mean by
I had
this?
to answer when I went to Barbados.
What is doing here? What are you all guys doing? Are you guys, as your government doing? And it was frustrating and it was scary. And then to get a phone call from my sister and say, hey, your brother doing. I said, no, I don't believe that. And then you come home and to find out he actually, he took his own life because he couldn't deal with it. All that. Two things tell me not to mess with that thing. Him and what it does to your body. And what I saw friends of mine who didn't bathe for days.
Absolutely.
Who, I
Prostitution.
I saw one sitting on the corner and I said, listen, I'm coming right back. And I came back that evening, he was still waiting on me.
Of course.
It's amazing. That's our hour's up. Can you hang around for a few minutes after the 5 o'clock hours before we wrap up?
Sure.
Okay. This is Pearly here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, a Talking Heads Thursday with my special guest, Senator the Honorable Elizabeth Johnson. We're going to take a news break. When we get back, we'll wrap up with the Senator, and then right after that, Stat Boy is holding on. We got to talk about LeBron. We'll be right back.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats, then get busy on they. See, that's how that shit down.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
You're listening to the Guardian News Network. Update on the hour. 3 Bahamians are under arrest after they were caught at sea with 97 bales of suspected marijuana on their boat Saturday. The suspects, drugs, and their seized Go Fast boat were brought into New Providence by the HMBS Kamalami this afternoon. Royal Bahamas Defence Force Staff Intelligence Officer Captain Derek Ferguson said that bust was the result of a joint intelligence operation between the Bahamian Defence Force, Bahamian Police Marine units, and the U.S. Coast Guard air assets who international waters into Bahamian territory over Friday and Saturday. With Bahamian permission, officers aboard a U.S. Coast Guard cutter stopped, boarded, and searched that vessel, finding those drugs. Well, opposition leader Michael Pintar described James McPhee as a larger-than-life serial entrepreneur. McPhee, who was murdered July 14th, was laid to rest today. Pintar told mourners McPhee's passion left a lasting impact on those who knew him.
He was a serial entrepreneur. And so even if a business did not pop off and succeed in the way he wanted to, he had a way of finding additional initiatives that he could apply his talents and energy to. He was a passionate man. He was passionate when he was right, and he was passionate when he was wrong.
And over the next 3 days, one will be participating in the annual Seabreeze Summer Camp. The experience offers numerous educational and cultural activities designed to inspire young people in that constituency. Day one of their experience included a visit to Government House, where the children met with the Governor General and toured several of the nation's key institutions, including the House of Assembly, the Senate, and the John Canoe Museum. Seabreeze MP Leslie Miller Bryce says the initiative is aimed at exposing young residents of the Eastern New Providence constituency to Bahamian history, culture, and civic life. That's what's making headlines at this hour. AP Update is next.
Loss of family members is very isolating, and people who have experienced loss appreciate when others have shared their grief. If you can't be there in person, go to the Nassau Guardian's website online at thenassauguardian.com and visit our obituary link. The Nassau Guardian's interactive obituary link allows you to read the funeral announcement, express condolences, or place photos on the online guest book for 1 full year. Losing a loved one is painful, but that pain isn't the worst thing to happen. Friends, loved ones, colleagues, and neighbors who ignore the loss compound the pain. Should the bereaved family wish to place the obituary and photos on our obituary site, just contact the Guardian's funeral industry partners or the Nassau Guardian. Remember, there isn't one magic right thing to say to someone experiencing loss that will make the loss less painful. Or the Nassau Guardian's obituary link, available online at thenassauguardian.com.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
I'm Ed Donahue with an AP News Minute. Stocks finished mixed. A Massachusetts woman is on trial in a case where her lawyers argue postpartum psychosis was the reason she killed her 3 children, 5 and younger. Lindsay Clancy has pleaded not guilty. Her now former husband, Patrick Clancy, testified a prescribed drug she was taking was the beginning of her downfall.
How she was physically after starting the Seroquel.
Awful.
How so?
That was really where her big spiral started. She started to lose a lot of weight, and she became very depressed, and she was having a really hard time.
Prosecutor Sean Buckingham says Clancy strangled her children in well-planned murders in 2023.
This was a woman who acted intentionally and swiftly to accomplish a very specific goal: to kill.
I'm Ed Donahue.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Alright, already the show goes on all night till the morning. We
Yes. Welcome back. So good to have you here. My special guest with me, Senator the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson. I got a text here. If this phone would allow me to do what I need to do, we'll get, okay, let's read this. Do you all remember the plane at Porky Service Station in the mid-70s? Was that in the back of? Yes. There was one in Stapleton at one point. I know there's one in Stapleton. That one, they found a bunch of pills on that. And then there's one that crashed in the back of Porky's gas station.
They land them anywhere on the road.
Yeah. I heard some stories. The fellas used to fly low, push the stuff out in the backyard and stuff like that, and do all kind of land the plane on some roads way out west. But let's take this caller before we talk a little bit more. Caller, you are on the air.
Good afternoon, Pearly. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother. What's up?
I pulled to the side, Pearly, just to really hone in on something.
What do you mean you pulled? You was driving when you say you pulled to the side.
I pulled to the side to see when he said it. It didn't hit me, and I don't know if it hit the nation when he said it.
Okay.
But the senator said just now that if someone from over the hill had sold a half-bag around the House of Assembly somewhere, we would have already known who that person is. They would have either already caught that person or caught somebody that they allege is the person. The point of the matter is, some regular Joe Blow would have already been charged with such a high-profile matter.
Yeah.
But because it's somewhat of a different ilk now in terms of authority or power or politician or someone senior, like this is a senior servant to the people, whether this person was redacted or not, if it was a local small fry, we would have known who it is.
Yep.
But when it comes to the senior people in our country, Mom, it's this kind of thing that breeds the culture of crime and violence that we are experiencing today in our country. Why young people do not have any regard. It's called anarchy, where it seems like there's no leadership and the systems are seemingly failing. Here's where we are. Had that been a young person from over the hill, they could have been from as far as South Beach. We would have known who they are, redacted or not. This cherry picking when it comes to application of the law in our country is what causes people to have no concern about offending persons or harming people and have a regard for the law. We're watching our senior leaders in our country not even get a slap on the wrist. Not even a snap on the wrist. Our senior people in our country when it comes to crime and violence. We now have a situation in our country to the point where your police officers leaving the scenes of accidents and stuff.
Wow.
That's the level of disregard we now have for law and order in this country.
That's scary. What does it say? You sound like a young person. So what do you say? What does that say to you as a young person in this country?
Why I need to respect the law when everybody else ain't. There's no consequences for all these other people. Why should there be consequences for me?
What do we do?
And the heads got to roll from somewhere.
Gotcha.
Look at the case the other day with the immigration officer. There's 3 sets of sheep. It's alleged.
Yeah.
But you have young people in our society observing this kind of thing. No, it can happen in any force or any agency. But again, we have a generation of young people who are watching our leaders. Who we know the leaders because they come from among us. They be around us. But we see no consequences for their actions that we are well aware of. It's like this thing say, it ain't about what you know, it's about what you can prove. And so from you can't prove it, mom's the word.
Yep. A senior officer once told me is, we know a lot, I won't say a lot, but some of these crimes are going, we know who do it, but we just can't prove it. We just don't have enough evidence and nobody wants to come forward and say anything. And based on what you see happen the other day, who wants to be a witness?
Pearly, I pray that the time comes where, as a people, we end up with leadership in this country who truly cares about our plight as a people and not care about statistics in terms of saying crime is down when the fear of crime is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
I pray and hope we come across some form of leadership in this country in the very short future.
You know,
that will help us navigate the plight of challenges that we are experiencing as a people. They won't manage the challenges. They will help us to alleviate the challenges.
I got you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my brother. So appreciate the call. You know, I hear what he says, and the fear of crime is growing in this country tremendously. I live in Chippenham. The young man who got killed yesterday, 2 blocks down from my house, around the corner, 2 blocks down from my house. I pass there every single day when I go out. How do you think the people of Chippenham are feeling right now?
They feel, well, they're afraid to speak.
Yeah.
Because they see what happened. There's sometimes, and I commend the Royal Bahamas Police Force for the work that they do.
Yeah, you get some really good officers out there.
But there's a serious concern, not only by, sometimes by police officers. I'll tell you, when this issue arose with police force and the commissioner having resigned, the allegations of extrajudicial killings, the admission that the senior police officers and law enforcement agencies, persons were undermining there's an operation called the Operation Bahamas Turks and Caicos off Bat Creek in 1982. And Mr. Monroe said that the Americans or the persons involved in off Bat did not want our officers to be a part of the planning process because they thought they were undermining it. In 3 years, people are really afraid. And I heard the Minister of National Security saying that if you have a difficulty as a witness, tell the police. I think it should go further than that. We should augment the Royal Bahamas Police Force because their duty is to apprehend all offenders, prevent and detect crime. Think about it. You're a part of a matter that happens in one of any community. I wouldn't call it a particular community.
Okay.
You're waiting to go for the trial. 2 weeks before, they put you in what they call as a witness protection program. You go to the hotel. You're in the hotel. Win, lose, or draw for that person who may be prosecuted. You then have to go back to live in the community.
Yeah.
I think we have to take witness protection just a little higher. With some persons, you cannot send them to live in that community again.
No, they got to move out.
They have to. Some people leave the country.
Yeah.
So we have to see how serious this is when we speak about witness protection. Police officers. If you recall, he lived in Pinewood. When they killed that officer just before the trial, you think the people in Pinewood I knew him.
Okay.
You think they forgot that? You know which people are killed just before trials? And so we have to take it to a higher level. When we were in government, there was a young man who participated in a notorious trial, and Mr. Ash, and I could call Mr. Ash's name. You know, Mr. Ash did one day. Yeah, Mr. Ash did, man, you guys can't protect me. You give me a number and somebody find out what the number is. People are calling me wherever you send me.
Yeah.
So what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And I've never seen faith so great. He came and said, listen, man, I watched him as he left the AG's office that day, and I'm going to talk. He says, listen, I got to trust in God to protect me. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So, because if the guys won't get me, they're going to get me. I didn't realize that. And he left the office and he walked onto the streets. But should that incidents of that nature have to occur? And what is happening, what is laboring on the minds of the average ordinary Bahamian is we ask them to participate in law enforcement, either by giving, we got to be more sensible when we ask people to give information. And we got to be much more sensible, tactful, and humane when we ask someone to come out of a community where sometimes, because these aren't strangers who are committing these, unlike crimes, and I spoke about the Colombians, these are guys that you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're now trying to outfit the prison to lock down so that they don't have phone calls coming out of the prison, right? So there are certain rigorous realities that people have to deal with, and we have to speak to them directly.
Yeah.
And so in so doing, the average ordinary citizen may not care to do it because it could result in something. So you need persons out there, and I want to commend persons who have the courage to come and speak to it. But there's one more thing before I go. They spoke about Justice Moore. The Laura Quinn Commission of Inquiry, he said to the then, a former commander of the Defense Force, he said, you learned of what happened in the Defense Force. What did you do? He said that the police officers were doing the investigations. But they I think it was either Mr. Moore or His Grace, said, but don't you think that you had a responsibility as the chief executive officer of the Defense Force to conduct your own internal inquiry and instill discipline? So it is with the police force. So it is with the Speaker of the House. If something as significant as that, you're always arguing about who is in control of the House. Yeah. This is an opportunity
to show.
And there's one other thing. Every time you speak about something, they says sub judice. Well, is it the sub judice means it's before a court?
I just would ask you what that means.
So sub judice is saying that you cannot speak to something because it's in the court, and you may disadvantage the person.
Okay.
But in the book that governs the rules and procedure in London, and we imported it in the Bahamas, it says that if it's not a court in that country, you don't have to be concerned about it.
Yeah.
So if they're having a trial in China, I can't speak about it.
Yeah.
If they're having a trial in South Africa, our news people, no. It's if it's here and it undermines a matter that's before a judge. Which judge is this matter before? With Eric Player Gardner.
Yeah.
Which court is it before? Which investigation?
Yeah.
And you tried to tell, but they wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
But I am of the view that we must do more. We have a plague that's among us. And I know, as Sir Lyndon said, we may not have the boats, the planes, but we have demonstrated over the years, as he did, that we have the courage to look this monster in its face. Because at the end of the day, if we don't, it is our women, it is our children, it is our men, and it is the nefarious, nasty, and ruthless people that go along with drug dealing that we don't want in the Bahamas. Amen. And it's our local and international reputation that we're trying to protect.
Let's take this call. Call you on there.
Yes, Senator Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
We warned your siblings on point. She had two of her other your siblings.
Who's that?
And also on February 11, 2017, we warned Mrs. Boslick. So the PLP has ushered in for a time such as now. God bless.
Okay. God bless you, ma'am. Call you on the air.
Good afternoon. Really, I'd like to I heard Ellsworth speak about something.
Senator.
No, you call me
Senator Ellsworth speak about something just now.
Uh-huh.
The death of Marcian Scott, a police officer. A police officer.
Nice officer, man.
No less of a circumstances than Mr. James. A police officer. I'll never forget
Who was
that
murdered.
day when Marcian Scott was murdered in Pinewood right there by the park.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
His
about.
house, a police officer. And we've yet to have policy follow incident that makes sense in this country. We've yet to have policy that follow incident that makes sense in this country. We got to get beyond the lip service at some point in time and create policies that help to govern our people and protect our people.
Amen. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Read a couple of texts here. Good afternoon, Pearlie. Tell Mr. Johnson I have so much respect for him today. Tell him, continue to speak truth and fight for our beloved country. Please, we need warriors like him. They didn't think they were undermining the outback drug opposition. They knew. The U.S. indictment against the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force senior officers said providing sensitive information to disrupt U.S. Coast Guard operations. And good afternoon. What I would like to know is why politician kids don't do jury duty, because they don't live among the people always like the average citizen. I don't know. I was the son of a politician and I did jury duty, so I'm not certain. So in closing, anything else you'd like to bring in closing?
Just thank you for doing as I said when I began. Through media, it's catastrophic.
Yes.
And to thank you for the work that you do, Guardian Radio.
Thank you.
I would also like to, I'm from Cat Island.
Okay.
And so we buried Miss Webb and Stubbs.
Yes.
And my family are still mourning, so I would like to extend
your family?
condolences. Yes.
Okay.
See, this
I think everybody in Cat Island related, though.
Yeah, somehow
in some way.
yeah.
But I mean, it is such a sad thing that happened, and you know, I feel as a parent.
Yes.
As a parent,
And I have
and
three
knowing
daughters.
when my kids graduated, they were going out partying
Yes.
and hanging out like
Yes.
that. So it touched me as a parent. and we showed concern for our families. And I know every night when I ask the good Lord, I have one good decent grandson. I ask God, I say, please keep him safe.
Absolutely, same here.
Every night, please keep him safe, because he's 8 years old, and I want to be able to see him go through life.
Yeah. So I would extend condolences to the family of MCM Hilda Antonio.
Yes.
And Miss Denise Dorset, dear friend to all of us.
Yes.
May God continue to bless them, and may God continue to bless the Bahamas.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And my special guest has been Senator the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson here, talking about what's going on in looking at what's happening in the drug trade in our country and trying to recommend ways of how we can clean that up. This is Pearlie here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We're going to take a break. When we get back, Starboy is going to join me. We're going to talk about LeBron.
The show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with Fidelity Personal Loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island game. Luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
Buffalo Ranch, Buffalo Ranch. Get messy with it.
Dive in hot with the new KFC Dunk Buffalo Ranch.
Hey, Dunk Buffalo Ranch.
A crispy ranch chicken sandwich with buffalo sauce on the side.
Buffalo on the side. Buffalo on the side.
For just $8.95, get messy with it and dunk it how you want it. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Everybody dunk. Everybody ranch.
How often should you change your oil in your car? Every 3,000 miles or 3 months? Definitely by the time the light come on. A car needs oil just like we all need water. Let Muffler World change your oil and oil filters to help you keep your ride on the road. Regular oil changes will save your car's engine. Stop by Muffler World on Mackey Street or Robinson Road to have your car's oil changed in no time flat. Muffler World on Mackey Street is open on Saturdays 8 to noon.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
Welcome back to our Talking Heads Monday. This is Pearlie in the house filling in for Naughty today. I got Starboy standing by, but let's get right into today in sports history before Starboy and I start chopping it up and talk a little bit about what's been going on over the weekend. Today's Monday is July 27, 2026, and on this date in history in 1918, Brooklyn Heitman made his major league appearance in the same day. He pitched 4 straight hits to the St. Louis Cardinals, left the game, and never played again in the majors. Now, that's amazing. In 1921, baseball fan Reuben Berman sued the New York Giants, claiming he suffered after refusing to return a foul ball on May 16th at the Polo Grounds. Bremen was eventually rewarded $100. In 1937, the United States captured the Davis Cup by beating Britain 4 matches to 1. In 1946, Rudy Yoke, Boston Red Sox, hit 2 grand slams and drove in 10 runs to 13-6. In 1984, Pete Rose passed Ty Cobb record for the most singles in a career when he got his 3,503rd base hit. In 1986, Greg LeMond of the U.S. became the first non-European to capture the Tour de la France cycling race. In 1992, Boston Celtics star Reggie Lewis died after collapsing on a Brandeis University basketball court during practice. He was 27 years old. In 1992, China's Fu Mingzai, I know I messed that name up, only 2 weeks away from her 14th birthday, became the second youngest gold medalist in Olympic history when she won the women's 10-meter platform diving event. The Chinese dominate that event. In 1996, at the Atlanta Olympics, a pipe bomb exploded at the public Centennial Olympic Park. 1 person was killed and more than 100 people injured. I remember that. It was a sad day. In 1996, Canadian Donovan Bailey ran the men's 100-meter dash with a time of 9.84. The previous record was 9.85, held by Leroy Burrell in the United States. I think Usain didn't run but 9.6 something to break that or something like that. In 2001, Deion Sanders announced his retirement from the NFL. He's now Coach Prime. And then finally, in 2023, Lance Armstrong won his 5th consecutive tour. The more I train, the more I realize I have more speed in me. Leroy Burrell. Great 100-meter dash. Stat Boy, what's happening? Did Stat Boy leave me? Were you pulling the Pearly and being mute?
I pulled the Pearly. It's waiting patiently. My bad.
How you doing?
Sometimes.
What's up?
I'm good, Pearly. How are you, man?
I'm pretty good, Hot weekend, lights off all weekend, but it was pretty good other than that.
Yeah, man, they got to do better, but hey, you can't complain. Thank God for life.
Yeah, so it's would be now called the dog days of baseball. Let's get right into MLB baseball. The dog days of the summer.
Yes.
The Mets took one out of the 3 from the Dodgers, the beginning yesterday. Actually hit them out the park a couple of times.
Wow.
I think the Orioles game was a pretty good game. Not the Orioles game. Who the Yankees played? The Phillies. Yankees played the Phillies last night. The Phillies had batting practice on the Yankees last night.
You're saying that's a good game, man? I was out. I watched that live, and it's just horrible.
It was good for the Phillies, not good for Yankee fans.
Yeah, well, yeah. So how are you gonna say it's good? And you're talking to me. You trying to troll me, Pearly?
I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the game. I think Stout hit a home run last night. Stout had a good. He had a good day yesterday. And Volpe, who y'all don't like,
5 RBIs.
Yeah, Volpe, who you don't like, did well last night. So
he did his thing. He played well. We just want consistency.
Second year.
No, Ben Rice.
Second year.
In the 2nd or 3rd season.
Second
but
year.
He's had a great year this year.
He's having a great year. Yeah, and he did well last night. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Rice, homegrown kid, always wanted to be a Yankee. 31 home runs, 273 average. This is what Jazz said he wanted to do. Ben Rice is doing. I got to give him credit.
But with Jazz is at 19 home runs now?
Well, yeah, Jazz is heating up in recent games, but it's still like before the season you say you want 50-50. Sometimes you just got to watch what you say. But again, we're going to need Jazz. We're going to need Ben Rice. We're going to need Judge back. We're going to need all hands on deck as we push forward. But yeah, that was a horrible game last night.
Yeah.
I was in shame.
But it's going to be quite interesting. Fried is back. So Fried is pitching tonight for the Yankees. Again, it goes going against the White Sox. So that's going to be an interesting game. The White Sox are on first place. So that'll be an interesting game to watch.
And an interesting series, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be good to watch. It was interesting to see on last Thursday, the Dodgers went to the White House.
They did?
Yeah, they went to the White House last Thursday because they so what happened was they on their way from Philadelphia to New York, they had a day off, so they took a break and stopped into D.C. So we call it a 4-city trip. They had 3-city trip. They went to New York, Philly, back to New York. So they went into the White House and had a decent visit. Mookie Betts didn't go. He did say he wasn't going to go. His wife just had a baby, so he wanted to spend time with the new baby.
Respectable.
And then Kiki Hernandez didn't make it because he's all the way in Arizona rehabbing. Incidentally, Kiki's back tomorrow. So So he wanted to complete his rehab so he could be prepared to be back tomorrow. Kiki's back tomorrow, and she had what the horns they play for my man, for Edwin Diaz, the closer.
Them trumpets,
man. Yeah, the trumpets will be blaring on Wednesday as he's back. So the Dodgers are now starting to retool. Kiki's back. Edwin Diaz is back. They just got Evan Phillips back the other day. And Evan Phillips, the close, one of the relief pitchers, are back. Cespedes is now in rehab, so he should be back soon. And then Blake Snell will be back pretty much sometime in August. Glasgow by the end of August. My only concern is Will Smith has had a setback, so he may not be back till the end of August. And what it puts out there is trade deadline is Monday, 6 o'clock. So will the Dodgers pull the trigger in trading for a catcher? The Cincinnati Reds catcher is there. I think one or two other catchers will probably be looked at. So that may throw a monkey wrench in what the Dodgers are going after Skubal. So
do you go and acquire a catcher because you really, really need that and trust your bullpen, and you go get Skubal?
But the good thing about it, rushing has not been bad. He's not been Will Smith. Let's be real, but he's not been bad.
Because he's productive and serviceable.
Yeah, he's serviceable, but he's serviceable as a backup. But he's got an opportunity to get a everyday play in. And then Alfonso, the rookie, was called up, who had a double yesterday. I think first RBI yesterday, but he had a double yesterday.
Good stuff.
He's here and he has still some time to adjust. So the Dodgers have to make a decision real soon as to whether we're going to continue the path we're going on trade deadline or pivot a little bit and try to get a catcher in there. So that's going to be interesting to see. I was just stalling because I know certain man listening to the radio station will have something to say. Let's talk about it. And we talked about it yesterday in the press box.
Yeah, we did.
And so now I'm talking it's LeBron is now a 76er. He signed his contract. He signed his contract yesterday. He's getting $3.8 million this year and then $4.2 million next year.
So up to $8 million.
It's $8 million, but if he does have a player option, what the player option means is that if he decides he wants to drop out next year, he'll only play the 1 year for the 76ers. A lot of people out there believe that they should just mail this trophy into the Sixers. A lot of people out there.
No. But I think that's just rooted in being LeBron fans.
Yeah.
And then just looking at the team based on the talent of the starting five.
I
also want to say that to anybody who's been saying that VJ Edgecombe will now have to slide to the bench, I don't think you know the Sixers roster that well, because the reserve guards are the rookies LeBron Philon Jr. and Anthony Simons. So a solid young rookie guard and a nice scoring, serviceable this season. But he got traded to Chicago, I believe, as well. But if you think VJ is going to go to the bench because LeBron has arrived, VJ will start purely off his defense and hustle. He will still start.
So Maxey will... okay.
Don't mail the trophy in yet.
Yeah. And there's been one concern. I heard somebody said the other day that LeBron should be playing the point and Maxey should move to the shoot. And that's why some people are talking about VJ going to the bench. Because they say LeBron has to have the ball in his hand. It's going to be interesting to see what Nurse does in terms of what play calls he'll do in terms of making sure. Because LeBron has to have the ball in his hand. Jaylen Brown used to have the ball in his hand. Maxey needs the ball. VJ needs the ball. And Embiid needs a number of touches.
VJ, you could say he needs the ball, but VJ is probably their best off-ball player right now.
Yeah, he's a good catch and shoot.
Last year when Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid would all play at the same time, VJ is a guy who could find his spot on the corner. He could attack when there's a lane.
Yeah.
He's a smart cutter. He's a high IQ off-ball player.
Yes.
And when you give him the ball, he could also operate as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if his growth will be totally stunted, but I know that certain touches that he should be getting as a sophomore, he won't get.
Yeah.
So it might look like a sophomore slump and whatnot, but it really won't be. But Philly has pushed all their chips in to go for this title.
And it's going to be interesting to see. So let's go to the caller. I know I have a strong feeling I know who this caller is. This guy is probably the most excited Bahamian right now. I can call his number. He don't know jack about basketball like that. He's not a huge fan like he is a Sixer. I hope I'm calling the right person. Call you on the air.
Pearly, you called me, Pearly, you called me. You dialed my number, Pearly, you called for me.
There you go.
Listen to me, that's what it's about. For me, it's not about LeBron James in no way. I appreciate what he's going to bring. Yes, mail the trophy to us now.
Oh, boy.
Look up. Let's off season try to have LeBron to the independence celebration, just like VJ was this off season. I trying to have LeBron somewhere here lounging, eating conch salad with VJ. It ain't about LeBron. It's not about LeBron. It's about the fact that what he brings to the table, in addition to what VJ them have been doing down there in Philly, should get them the championship.
So you're telling me you're actually a VJ Edgecombe Sixer fan?
I am a VJ Edgecombe fan. I have two nephews. I have a nephew that lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
In a complicated situation.
Okay.
He's a Laker like you, Pearly.
Uh-huh.
But then he said, man, look here, it's VJ all day. So he's trying to figure out now when he attends the game, like how the fans are going to respond to him being in a Laker jersey, but cheering for VJ.
But let me ask you this question. Why we didn't see this enthusiasm for the Lakers when a Bahamian was playing there last year? Or see the enthusiasm for the Warriors when a Bahamian was playing for them?
Okay. I want to say it. Even if I'm the president of the VJ fan club,
okay.
VJ just happens to be one of our favorite Bahamian players of all time.
So DeAndre, nobody is one of your
but me personally, as the number one fan for VJ, I ain't taking nothing from DeAndre them. I love those guys. I love all our guys. Give me that MJ feel in my bones, man.
I got you.
I hear it.
I got you. Yeah, that is that boy.
Yeah, I hear it.
So that's what it's about for us. It's less about LeBron getting it. Yes, LeBron Nation is headed to Philly. We've seen all the boats leaving. We've seen Greyhound has shut down because of all the traffic and all of that. Track can't respond to the demand. Metro can't respond to it. We've seen it. But it ain't about that for many of us. It's about these guys in Philly, that young pack, having the opportunity now, in addition to what LeBron hopefully will bring as a leader amongst them, with that championship mindset. And see, I've been a part just recently, being in the room to sit down in the presence of a championship mindset person.
Okay.
And that person said, hey, when you in the race and you at the championship going on, you got to bring the same energy.
I got you.
And I said, wow.
Okay.
That's the knowledge of a champion.
All right.
And so there's something that LeBron is going to bring to them, I believe, and they believe, obviously, that's going to be a huge asset to them getting across this finish line. And so we're looking at Sixers and Knicks in the final.
No, that can't be the final. No. The Knicks and the Sixers in the East.
It can't be Sixers and Knicks in the final because they're the same.
Yeah, they're in the same conference. So that probably you saying the Sixers and Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals.
In the Eastern Conference Finals.
And they can play probably San Antonio for the championship.
Or OKC. Maybe at this point we ain't really care who we playing though. Maybe just
listen here.
We
yeah, there's a caller. I can let you go. I got another caller on the line. Thanks so much for calling. I know you wanted to call the press box yesterday, so I know you was calling today. I knew he was gonna call. Call you on the air. How you doing? Oh, that one he couldn't wait. Our previous caller talk too long. But you know, I read an interesting article this morning, and it said that the Lakers never made an offer to LeBron all summer. Never made an offer to him.
But that's a conflicting report because one of the first reports I saw was LeBron let them know he will be playing elsewhere.
Well, a week before, they didn't make him an offer all that time, and then 1 week out is when they called to hook up with him to say, listen, let's have a conversation. And his agent said he wasn't available because he had already made his decision. And then he announced that he was not going to be a Laker anymore. So that was the gist of the story. So building up to that, the season end, prior to the season, let's say, but we can do this. It's like they consulted with Luka, took that $51 million and say, this is what we're going to do. And so it feels like they built a team around Luka that is consistent with Luka. And a lot of people are saying, they got some shooters. They got some scorers on that team.
Yes.
And it may be a little slower than normal. And listening to what Stephen A. Smith said, they may be a little slower than normal because of a certain hue. But don't sleep on them. Call you on there. How you doing?
Hey, boy,
Mr. Yankee.
Yeah, man. Go Yankees, go. Listen. Listen, LeBron is a non-issue, really, for me. I mean, I want Philadelphia to win, but not because LeBron gone there. I just want Philadelphia to win because of BJ. Man.
Okay.
I ain't concerned about LeBron. I could care less. I think Philadelphia stand the LeBron. That's my view about it.
Okay.
All right. I used to be a 76ers many years ago before I went to Chicago Bulls.
Use a Dr. J
It's
sixer.
time now that 76ers ran and shine, you know?
So you were Moses Malone, Dr. J sixer.
Yeah, I was there doing the Dr. J era.
Faux.
So
Okay.
I've been there a little while, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's 76ers time to shine and take that the spotlight. Is unfortunate that LeBron want to get on the wagon.
Wait, hold on.
That's the unfortunate thing to me.
I going back to something you say. Hold on. You say you were a Sixer, then you went to Chicago.
No, I'm not a Sixer.
No, hold on. You were a Sixer.
I was a Sixer back in the day.
And you went to Chicago.
Right, and I went to Chicago and I still there.
You still also.
But I said I would like for 76ers to win simply because of BJ.
Okay, I got you. Understood.
You got me?
I got you. I understand.
All the aim and pride and joy.
I understand.
And that's the reason why I said that. But like I said, LeBron right now he's an opportunist. Okay. He had his time.
Okay.
He was looking for someplace where he could have a soft landing and bark in the glory.
Oh, that's a soft landing.
The Lakers never had already decided they was moving on from LeBron from last year. He should have known that.
Yeah.
He was not a priority.
Yep.
And I don't know why he didn't see that from last year.
Yep, you're correct.
You know, he was just beating around the bush. Why? You know, man, they already show you what time it is.
Yep.
Why spend $50-some million?
I agree.
You know how many players the Lakers
That's what they
get?
did. They signed about 6 players with that money. They signed Kessler, Mamu, Sexton, Grimes, who else? Williams. They signed several players.
Yeah, and there's still have money left over from that.
No, they ain't got no more money. They spent all. I can let you. I got another call on the line. Thanks for calling. Call you on there. How you doing?
It was Sky Pearly and Lil Naughty.
Right.
Start man, not start boy. Start man.
Start man. Yeah, you're 18 now. Yeah, start man. Yeah.
You know that.
I got to what's happening?
What I saying, right? You know, you all been dissing LeBron, right?
Uh-huh.
Why? Just because of Kobe, right?
No. Because because of Kobe. Because he was trying to be Kobe.
Yeah, well, you see kind of put LeBron can on bit now, right? So you know what's going on with LA, like Stephen A. said. You know, if Luka couldn't win with Kyrie and all them athletic and defensive, man, with RU. Come on now, you didn't get one shot blocker who ain't got no offense. You understand? Relatively no offense.
I texted and said the Lakers got no defense, but I tell him
right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. No defense. And watch this. Ain't no black boy. Ain't nobody, no star, someone with no two-way player gang go help them white players. Man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
You know one thing? See. My favorite sports announcer is Chris Berman, and he always says that is why we play the game, and they will play, we will see. Time will tell. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate that so much. Listen, I love it. And it's going to be interesting to see. It's really going to be interesting to see because it is championship or bust with the Sixers.
But out of LeBron's, this is his last decision. He's not playing for money, family. He has openly admitted, I'm going to try to win a championship. So if that's the expectations you put on yourself, go make it happen.
Boy, time to get out of here. We've got
all right.
We got something from Rich Eisen talking a little bit more about LeBron. Okay, we're gonna do one quick pick today. We got Yankees, White Sox.
You know who I picking, Pearly. Come on now. Yankees. Let's go.
Okay, and then the Braves, the Mets came off a big win of the Dodgers last night. You think they'll get over the Braves? No, you got the Braves.
Oh no, the Mets got the Braves.
Yeah.
Braves.
Okay.
Braves.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Starboy. Thank you so much to my special guest, Senator the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson. Thank you to Starboy. Thank you for all the calls, the texts. So appreciate you today. Have a great day. This has been Pearly for Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Naughty will be back tomorrow. Get well soon, Naughty. Thank you.
That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up.
Hey kids, are you ready? It's back! The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp. July 27th to 31st at the Kendall Isaacs Gym, 2 to 5 p.m. daily, and August 3rd to 8th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for boys and girls from 5 to 18. Come enjoy the thrills of the big game alongside NBA legends and current superstars Michael Sweetbells Thompson, Michael Muggsy Bogues, and many others. Registration forms available now at the Seventh-day Adventist offices on Tony Williams Darling Highway. The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp.
Hungry for some serious beef? Then get ready, because Burger King Nassau is bringing back the double quarter-pound king. That's a full half-pound of flame grilled beef, topped with melty cheese, tangy mustard, crunchy pickle, and fresh onions. Served on a toasted sesame seed bun, classic style. Big flavor, big protein, big satisfaction. Get your double quarter-pound king meal with medium fries and a drink for only $10.35. More food, less money. Only at Burger King Nassau.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah! Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Already the show goes on.
So let me start with this, Chris. Look at that jersey with the crown and the. Oh my goodness!
I gotta change my shirt.
He brought his crown with him. Look at that.
Well, I mean,
look at that. The King James's jersey.
I mean, how's that lame?
Why is that lame? Why is that lame? What's lame about it?
There's nothing lame about it. He's got a crown. Oh, cool. Well, his name is King James. It's not his name. His name
is King James.
He's on Twitter X, and to many people, he's King James. Cool.
You know what I mean? I don't blame him for bringing the crown, even though, you know, for people my age, Del Tufo, it looks like maybe he can't believe it's not butter, you know, going there in Philadelphia right there.
That's true.
But I don't blame the Sixers for flexing like this, man.
Yeah, why would
Here's a few things that I did not mention when I was on the show Friday that I want to mention now. Well, I did say that to you on Friday.
You did say that. I'm just joking.
Okay. And I did also, you know, take a look at it from a Knicks fan perspective that, you know, that it's going to be Knicks and Sixers now instead of Knicks and 5. But, and how it's, you know, going to be an interesting development to see LeBron in Madison Square Garden multiple times and going to TD Garden. And then, you know, Boston goes there and the Knicks go there. And it's just going to be great old school Northeastern basketball. But writ large, what does this mean for the entire NBA in terms of winning it all for the Philadelphia 76ers? And, you know, how do they put it together? How quickly do they put it together? How quickly does Nick Nurse do what he's selling? Obviously, Joel Embiid's health is a massive, massive part of all this, and that is a major question mark we won't know the answer to, right? Just don't know. But the Philadelphia 76ers absolutely are now in the running to win. Absolutely in the running to win the whole damn thing if they can put it all together and get enough health out of everybody and see what happens in the long run. So that's where I want to turn to you, Chris, and say, where are the Sixers in their odds right now?
The Sixers have, we were talking about this on Friday when it happened. The Sixers have the fourth best title odds. Oklahoma City and San Antonio are each plus 260. The Knicks are 9-1. The Sixers are 10-1. Yeah. And then a little bit of a gap. And then the Celtics are 14-1 and the Raptors are 20-1. That's your top six.
Huh. Well, that's if Kawhi is able to play for the team.
Yeah, that's if Kawhi, I think. And then Denver 22-1. Detroit and Minnesota 25-1.
Wow, the Lakers aren't even there.
Wow. Oh, the Lakers are way down, 45-1. They have about the same odds as the Pacers.
Words. Yeah. Wow. And that's the other thing I'm thinking is I would have loved to have had a GoPro on Rob Pelinka's face or anybody else in that organization's face when they saw the amount of money lined for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, they were probably having their eyes peeled keenly to see how it would all work at this late game with salary caps and things of that nature and aprons. But don't you think if he had gone back to the Lakers or stayed put with the Lakers, he would have made multiples of what he's currently allowing the Sixers to pay him? Don't you think he would also, never give hometown discount to the Lakers over the last several years either?
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know if it's the circumstances here that he just knew that if he wasn't going back to the Lakers, this is what the finances were going to be. And obviously finances don't really mean anything when you've got enough cash to have a place in New York City. That's another thing I'm eager to see if this is in fact true, if he's going to commute a la Kobe back in the day towards the end parts of his career. If he's going to commute, because again, Orange County to Los Angeles is almost as far in terms not as the crow flies of New York to Philadelphia, but in terms of using ground transportation, which Kobe did not do. I'm just keen to see how all this works out. Sorry, TJ?
I'm sorry, Rich. I was going to say, I think a better comp would actually be J.J. Redick and LeBron, because J.J., when he played for the Sixers, he lived in Brooklyn. And so he would make the commute from Brooklyn to...
I guess. I'm sure he's going to have a spot in Philadelphia. But the bottom line is him going to Philadelphia was a bit of a surprise. I always thought it was going to be Miami. And if not Miami, I thought it would be Golden State because it would be geographically better and located to where his current base of operations is from in Los Angeles. But I don't know. I'll ask this of you, Chris. Is the key to this whole thing the fact that LeBron wound up in Philadelphia at the end of the day, thanks to the Boston Celtics tapping on him, the Jaylen Brown business,
I think it's so funny.
And flipping him to Philadelphia.
You've seen a couple of tweets about it. It's like the Celtics basically traded Jaylen Brown and LeBron James for Paul George and 2 number ones. Like, cool. It seems like anywhere that Jaylen Brown ended up going, LeBron probably would have went there because that would have been the best basketball spot to try to win a championship. You know, if Golden State was in on Jaylen Brown, LeBron probably ends up in Golden State. It's just funny that Giannis wasn't enough to lure LeBron, but a guy like Jaylen Brown and the situation that they've got going on in Philly with Maxey and Edgecombe and obviously Embiid, if he can be
there
healthy.
You go. Now you're naming all the names.
Yeah.
Because again, you know, the question is, if you look at Miami and there's Giannis and there's Wiggins and there's the rest of the team that they had put together,
not enough shooting.
Does that stack up?
Yeah, not enough shooting.
Does that stack up with what the Sixers can bring to bear with slashers and scorers?
I don't know.
Like Maxey and Edgecombe and Brown, with a monster in the middle that, when healthy, is as dominant a center as we've seen in this league in a long time. But there's the when healthy guy, you know.
That's the problem.
And just wait, man. Chris, you're gonna just love watching the Philadelphia 76ers play when a guy who is an all-time great scorer and all like the number of records that LeBron has to be broken are too many to mention. But one thing that's not in the books is the guy who's never committed a foul in his career now is going to play with a guy who's always on the floor because he's always been fouled. And he's all the time with his 7'90" frame on the ground, like he's one of those balloons outside of a car dealership. Sometimes Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's like, I'm embarrassed by that sort of behavior. Like, what do you think? How tough is it going to be to watch the Philadelphia 76ers?
It's going to be tough
for you this year.
More so
this is sort of mixing up I would have had
more
if
so
I was
than normal.
physically there on Friday
Also,
instead of
just
Seth
a
Rollins.
couple of Jaylen Brown points, which is really interesting. Remember when Jaylen Brown was spotted during Summer League saying that Bronny can't play in the league? That's funny because now Bronny's probably going to be a teammate at some point, right? You got to figure Philly's going to go get Bronny James.
Nope.
Also,
I don't know, man.
Jaylen Brown had such a problem being a 1B in Boston, and now he's the third or fourth option. That's interesting.
Categorically false.
Can't wait for Philly's first three-game losing streak, and LeBron passive-aggressively throws shade at his teammates on Twitter. What's going to happen when Jaylen Brown goes live on Twitch and starts slagging on Nick Nurse? I can't wait for all of it.
All those things he said ain't going to
happen. Who plays more? It's more likely on a Monday, Rich.
Look, he wants to get into his feelings about
If we start right now, taking point right now, who plays more games in their Philadelphia career? LeBron James or Joel Embiid?
Ooh, what does that even mean? Like,
neither of them can stay healthy.
Oh, LeBron's really hurt?
LeBron has missed some time in his last couple of seasons.
LeBron has been as healthy of a player that sports has ever seen.
LeBron has missed time. It's more Embiid
James,
slander. Just saying.
All right. But by the way, that one I can hear you with that. But LeBron James, if the LeBron James,
with the guy that you acquired,
if the LeBron James from last year, towards the end of last year, okay, the guy who is part of a Lakers team that dominated in March because everybody played the appropriate amount of minutes or the appropriate amount of time together and they were all healthy. If that guy shows up and works in with a healthy Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, and Embiid, and if that guy shows up in the playoffs where he needs to win a game at some point, like he did for the Lakers in the first round. Again, I know you don't hang banners for first-round series, but he was a man by himself playing out of his skull. If that guy shows up in Philadelphia, this is a major problem for the rest of the league. It is. But the bottom line is the two of you guys going against each other all year long, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And the best part about it is football's right around the corner, too. Yeah.
This is nothing new, though. He and I have been doing this tango since you put me in this seat. Now, the thing is, he's always had an upper hand. I'm not going to lie about that. Like, the Celtics have always been able to get over on the Sixers. He's always said the Sixers should trade Embiid just because he didn't want to have to deal with him anymore. So, yeah, we've been doing this for a while, but now I feel like we finally have the better team. So it's going to be even more fun this year.
This is going to be
Celtics
great.
go further than